Hey, Mario, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you. It's an honor to be speaking with you. Well, let's talk a bit about your new film, Armed. Can you tell the listeners a bit about the new one?
Yeah, man. Armed is a wild, independent film. It's not the sort of watered-down film by committee that sometimes you see with studios that you sort of becomes a little more generic. This is a real crazy movie, and they say nothing stops a bad guy with a gun like a good guy with a gun. Well, I've played a lot of good guys with guns in my career, but never one like Chief, who's armed, and he's on the no-fly list, and, man, things can go very wrong, and it's all inspired by real stories. So, basically, I play a barber in a barber shop, and I'm the guy you don't want to go to. And there's a number of other barbers. There's Roland Martin, and there's D.C. Youngfly, and Paul Rodriguez, and this gangster comes in to get his hair cut, and his favorite barber's not there, and I'm filling in for him, and I give him the haircut from hell. Stuff goes wrong from there, and you find out that my character, even though he's a terrible barber, used to be in the U.S. Marshals, and he led his guys on a mission, and something went wrong. And one by one they show up, and they're all suffering from these symptoms. And they tell him he better find out what's wrong before they do their way. And these guys are also very armed. And my character convinces them to put down their guns and give them just 7 days to find out what the hell's going on. And all kinds of stuff jump off. And so it's a wild ride. You're going to spend the first bit trying to figure out where the movie is and what's going on. And that's deliberate. And then at a certain point when you get it, it's crazy. We just won the Audience Film Festival Award in Newark, and that's fun because it's real people watching it.
Sure.
And to watch them watch this movie, man, they were places. First they're laughing, then they got a little on edge, then you could hear a pin drop, and then as they understood what was happening, it becomes a roller coaster. So I can't tell you more than that, but I can tell you this. Armed will entertain you, but it'll definitely make you think again. I say make America think again. It'll do that.
Well, and I know you wrote, directed, produced, starred in the film, so obviously Armed is a real important one for you.
Yeah, it's a ride. I like to go off and, like I said, I'll work for the studios and do that movie, but to go off and make a film that has a real point of view, even from my early films, if you saw them, you may not always like them, but if you saw New Jack City, you'd remember seeing it. You'd remember Badass or Posse or Panther, any of the, I've tried to make films that stick out. Not just work constantly making them, but make films that have a real signature and something to say. And that's fun. That's fun to get out and do and risk it all and see what happens.
And again, the new film Armed is out now, and Mario, I wanted to get your sense. I know the country is real divided these days. Are you at all concerned at a film like this, how it will be perceived by certain groups of people in this day and age?
Well, the thing about this is I try as a filmmaker not to tell you what to think, but just to make us think. And we as Americans need to do that collectively. And so I wanted this film to be, because it's based on real people and real stuff. And at the end, you see the real people it's based on. So it's not created out of whole cloth. It's created out of whole headlines. So I want us to think about what we're doing and how to handle things. I'm a gun owner. I did Posse, and I still have my 6 shooters from Posse, but I'm not on the no-fly list, and I'm not on heavy medication. And when some of these things, you go, wait a minute, you mean this guy's on the no-fly list and he can have these weapons of war? That's a little frightening, So I want to make America think and entertain us. But we need to figure it out because when it's clear that thoughts and prayers are not enough, but that you want to have people have the like sensible gun owners have what they have. I don't want to tell them what to think. I just want to say, hey, look, this is what's going on, and you can make a really interesting movie out of it. And it's not just about that. There's other issues that come up in Armed as well. But I think, and we had people in the movie Armed on all sides of all the issues. That's the other thing that's important. So, it's not monolithic in its point of view. And my character that I play is politically politically neutral, and he's a really good guy. He's just a very armed guy. So I love it when movies wake me up, entertain me, don't bore me, make me think about it. So in New Jack, whether it's about a crack epidemic and issues of legalization, and in Badass, whether it's about empowerment and independent filmmaking, or Posse, where it's really how the West was won and how those townships first were built. I like to give you a little history, give you a little reality, along with your entertainment. That way you come out of there with something to think about. Does it make sense?
Definitely. Yeah, and I got to ask you, how cool is it for you to be working with your father still? I know he was in the movie as well. That's great.
Oh, it's fun. And he brought, we brought Dionne Warwick in, and Bill Fichtner, who's so good in Heat. That's the first time I became a real Bill fan, and he's done so many movies since then. He's really great. And Ryan Guzman, and also my kid, so that my son came in and said, "Dad, it's an independent film, right?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, then you need independent money." And he gave me some money to help, and became one of the producers on it. And so it's fun when you have a family. They say, there's three kinds of people: people that watch things happen, people that complain about things that happen, and people that make things happen. When you come from a family that's used to making things happen, and you do that with your family, it's exciting. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but it's fun. And I've gotten texts right now from people back east who are watching Armed because it's available on digital, and I'm on Instagram. So Mario Van Peebles on Instagram. So I've told all the viewers, listen, if you're enjoying or not enjoying the movie, hit me up on Instagram and I'll respond. And people are saying it's more intense than The Storm. So they're watching it on iTunes or on demand right now if you can't get to a movie theater. And it's a ride, that's for sure.
Yeah, again, Armed is out now. And you mentioned your son. I know he's doing pretty well in the music side of things. And I wanted to ask you, I was a big fan of the film Rappin. Did you ever consider maybe you and your son teaming up, maybe a new snack attack for the new millennium here?
That's funny. Yeah, we had a lot of fun. We shot that in Pittsburgh, man. I had a lot of fun with that movie. I've done some funny ones over the year. It was actually Rappin that some of the things that Rappin that I thought I could do better, that I improved upon when I did Heartbreak Ridge with Clint Eastwood, where I brought a little bit of that sort of sensibility, the rapping, rhyming to Heartbreak Ridge, and the Clint let me just do my own thing. He was like, "Be all you can be, kid." So working with him, and he was acting, directing, of course. Then later, Eastwood actually introduced me to the folks over at Warner Brothers, where I got to direct my first feature, New Jack City. So each one sort of led to that next step, that led to a place where I would eventually, make an okay living doing what I love doing, and being a storyteller that gives you entertainment but a little bit of nutritional value. That's fun to do.
Excellent. Again, thank you so much for your time. I'm looking forward to seeing the film and hopefully speaking with you again sometime.
Please follow me on Instagram. Hit me up after you see it. I'd love to see what you think.
All right, will do. Thank you, Mario.
Okay, buddy. Bye-bye.